And we had to just, really in that moment, just look at everyone and be like, sorry, that was not a good call. We're going to go ahead and correct that, and we're going to offer the summer games to you now.
Welcome to another episode of Clear Lake Connections, proudly sponsored by UTMB Health, where we talk to the people behind the businesses in Bay Area, Houston. Today, I have with me Kelsey Daniel, who is the manager of Bolero.
It's Bolero Webster.
Bolero Webster. Where did I come up with Bolero? Oh, my goodness.
The Big Lebowski? I think that's where they bowl there.
Is that what it was? I got a guy at work constantly doing the Big Lebowski thing.
Yeah.
I won't tell you which parts because, like I said, we don't want to bleep but it was a good part. Anyway, tell me about the history. It's a fascinating read. I got to preview it, and I thought, you know what? It's amazing that somebody took something and just keeps reinventing it. So please tell me about that.
So the owner of the company, Tom Shannon, he really is visionary when it comes to reinventing the different brands that he has created within the Bolero Corp umbrella. What he wanted to do was take something that he saw, essentially dying out, bowling, and he wanted to reinvigorate it. He wanted to, rebrand it and make it cool again, make it something that families, adults, kids, everybody wanted to get out and do. And I think he's been very successful with that.
And you guys recently, or within the recent past, acquired the Professional Bowling Association?
The PBA. Oh, yeah. We did. We've been, I say we, but, the company has been hosting tournaments, doing a lot and bringing in a lot of new sponsorships. And it's been a give and take. It's opened up a lot of stuff within the company and as far as careers for people too. So it's been very exciting right now.
Well, I like the fact that you use the word we because it shows that you feel like it is a we. I mean, it's one entity all pulling from the same end of the rope.
The company feels very much like a big family. It's very supportive. I myself started with the company as an hourly event host and senior general manager now. They moved my entire family from one city to the other to open the location up here, so it definitely feels very inclusive and it feels like the sky is the limit. You can just grow as big as you want to.
And so what got you started at this business?
To be honest with you, it was supposed to be a part-time job. My husband and I were running a barbecue food truck. And it was like winter time and it wasn't very busy. A friend of mine was like, I think you'd be great at being a party host at this bowling alley. And I was like, well, let me see what that's about. Pretty quickly, my district manager saw something in me and he was like, what do you plan to do? And so on and so forth. I was promoted to a manager within 3 months and it's just still going from there. And here we are.
And do you bowl yourself?
Not well.
Okay. What's your top score?
A 105,
okay.
Which my league bowlers have let me know is not good.
It's not good at all. I'm sorry.
So, there were no bumpers there, but I will say my 5-year-old daughter has come within like 7 pins of my highest score. So probably shouldn't brag too much.
So you have a unique partnership with the Clear Lake Area Chamber in that you guys host the no experience necessary bowling tournament, which
Correct.
It sounds like you might want to put a team
I know
in.
if I wasn't going to be working, I think I could definitely do well in the tournament.
So, but tell us more about the event side of it. Birthday parties. You guys recently hosted a pretty big event, if I'm not mistaken.
We are always hosting huge events. We do a lot of tournaments as well. I'm really proud. I was able to get the Greater Houston USBC actual city open tournament, men's and women open, back into our location, which it hadn't been there for several years. And that brought a lot of different people who hadn't been into the area. And they came in, they loved it. Some of them had to stay in hotels, so obviously they were spending their money out and about. So I think it was a really good move, and that'll be something that we do every year for them.
That's great. And I guess maybe you could even expand that to more regional or even statewide type
Actually,
tournaments.
it's funny that you say that because my league coordinator, David Mitchell, he recently brought to my attention that we could actually put a bid in for the state tournament. So that's something he's going to be looking into for me, and I'm going to work very hard to get that at our location.
That'd be great.
Because that would be fantastic.
Yeah. Last month was Tourism Month, and we talked a lot about how COVID has affected tourism, and so it's great to hear businesses like yours are actually working hard to bring people in.
Yes, we are just doing all sorts of birthday parties. We're doing a lot of stuff with the high school bowling. Obviously, we're having the chamber tournament. So yeah, we're just busy. People are out and about to have some fun right now.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about buying to Bay Area, and it means buying local, but it also means, you know, kind of doing local activities. It means volunteering local. Tell me more about your partnership with the high schools, and I think it's fascinating. I know when I was in high school, we did not have a bowling team, but it seems like it's quite a popular sport.
Big up here, and I'll be honest with you, my location down in Corpus Christi did nothing with the high school or even really any youth programs at all. It was really awesome to come up here and get a center that has such a thriving youth program. There are several area high schools, all the clears, because everything is a clear, Clearbrook, Clear Falls. So all of them have their competitive high school matches at our location, their practices. And we're actually going to be doing a youth league on Saturday mornings over the summer, which is going to be a first time we're flooring this. So I'm very excited to bring that as well, because you know you got to start them young. But a lot of it is also money for college, you know, so these kids are putting money away for education, while at the same time reinvigorating a sport that's kind of dying out. So, you know, it's definitely a good relationship.
Yeah, what's been the biggest change? I'll never forget, I went to college in Austin, and there was a bowling alley there that it was called, I think, Showplace Lanes. It was open 24 hours a day, and when you walked in, it had this Vegas vibe to it. And I thought, man, this is really cool. And, you know, we'd show up all hours. And then I think it kind of went away. So what have you guys added that's keeps making it relevant?
Well, you know, the full bar definitely helps, having full bar service, a full restaurant, but it's definitely, so the idea behind like a Bolero brand in Tom Shannon's mind is that you've taken a restaurant and bar and you've put a bowling alley inside of it. You know what I'm saying? Or you've taken an arcade and you just happen to have bowling lanes in there. So the idea is to make the bowling an added part of what is already a good time out. You know, so like our location, for example, has a full arcade, you know, and these are really new. These are not, you know, old school, you know, arcade games. These are new arcade games. They're flashing, they're, you know, they're bright, they're fun, you know, they're inviting. Kids of all ages want to play them, adults want to play them. And at the same time, you can have a young kid's birthday party there and just have, you know, pizza and sodas. Or we had a birthday party the other day, I swear. It was happy 70th birthday Milton. And they had a full premium bar package. And, you know, they were just there to have a good time. You know, and it was everyone of all ages, all family types, you know what I mean, can just get in there, relax, kick back. And there's something for everyone. Some of our locations even have laser tag arenas. So in theory, you could have a birthday party and not even bowl. You can just eat, drink, and play laser tag, you know? So it really is all inclusive.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody unhappy at a bowling alley. That's, you know, everybody seems to enjoy it. You're right. It's for every
It's the
age.
shoes.
Oh,
Have you
okay.
seen them?
They're very sporting.
Yes.
I know in the day they used to disappear a lot, so they were coveted.
That is a fact. We had an event in Corpus Christi, and my operations manager, she to this day swears up, down, sideways that an entire girls volleyball team all walked out with our shoes because we had like no women's 7.5s anymore.
I remember in high school, actually, some of the kids wore bowling shoes to school, and so you were kind of like,
they're really cool. The company actually did. I have no reference for time now with everything. This was a couple years ago probably. But they did a contest for associates to design the new shoes. And so you were able to submit your shoe design. So, you know, artists and all that kind of stuff. And an associate actually won. And so now some of the Boleros have shoes that an associate designed. You put them together and there's antlers going down the side, and on the inside it forms a bowling ball.
oh, wow.
But, you know, there's just some kid who was working at the front desk or whatever out there, and those are literally his shoes. It's awesome.
That is
so,
cool.
you know, that we thing, that all-inclusive, the company, they don't just say it. You know, they really make you feel it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, getting your employees involved in the process. I mean, that buy-in, it sounds like that's a big part of what you guys do is get everybody to buy in so that you create that experience for the customer.
It's fun. You know, you're working all day and you have the Goonies on, you know, you have the Chive TV going, you're watching silly videos, the music is, it's hip or whatever, plus we can play, special requests when people want to hear it and stuff like that. So, like you said, it's really hard to have a bad time, because at the end of the day, it's a bowling alley.
So tell me about the last year. Obviously been tough for a lot of businesses, but it sounds like you guys have come through it with some success. Tell the listeners how you think that happened.
Listen, when we reopened, we basically had to just reinvent the entire way that we operated, because in a bowling alley, it's touch. You're touching everything, and everything that you've touched, someone else has just touched, and, it's very hands-on. And so to reopen when hands off is the way, we really had to think about things, so it was, seating every other lane, wiping things out. We were giving out, hand sanitizing wipes so people could wipe the inside of the bowling balls, even though we had just wiped it, but make sure that it's done. Gloves, masks, temperature checks, the whole 9 yards. And it was really about adaptability and being able to make it work. And the company was really quick. We had stanchions, in place everywhere to make sure that, people weren't crossing. We got the plexi up. A lot of our centers actually built in plastic separators between their booths and stuff. I mean, we got really, really hands-on and creative about making sure that we were able to provide a good time, but a safe time at the same time.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about, because you talk about your company culture, and I want to ask you about idea sharing between the different locations. But first, I need to go with Sherry, who's going to tell us about the No Experience Necessary bowling tournament, and let you know how you can get involved on that.
Hello, Clear Lake Area Chamber members and Bay Area Houston. We're super excited. Our No Experience Necessary bowling tournament, presented by the University of Houston Clear Lake, is coming up on June 3rd. You're listening to Kelsey right now, the general manager of Bolero Webster. That's where our event is located. Chamber members, if you want to put in a team, donate a door prize, or just come say hello, we'd love to see you. Go to clearlakearea.com for more information.
And we're back. So I wanted to ask you, so it sounds like you have some freedom in how you were able to COVID-proof your location. And do you guys get together and share those best practices with each other?
100%. Literally before I drove over here, I was telling Sherry I was on a Zoom call with my location I oversee in Corpus and in Texas City, just going over best practices on, some events and stuff like that. But when it came to COVID, we have locations in California, in Chicago, all over the country. And, we were on Zoom meetings, even whenever some of our locations were closed, those locations had their GMs sit in on our Zoom calls because we were the ones doing it. There was a good portion of time where the Texas locations were the only ones really open for the company. Yeah. And so, they were able to see what we were doing and real time, see how we were adapting and get ideas. And that way, when it was time for them to open, they were already ready to go. They knew exactly what they needed to do because we were like the guinea pigs, for lack of a better word. But my direct boss, James Soul, his number one thing is, be the CEO of your own location. It's very empowering, so that way, if you have an idea, hey, you know what, I think this might actually work, try it out. If it has success, send it out on the Zoom meeting. He'll call you out, Kelsey, empower me to tell what I did that I had success with. So it's very much all ideas welcome, no ideas dumb, brainwashing all the time, and very open sharing best practices. I think that's been a major key to the success.
So you had talked about this idea that kind of you're your own shop and you're able to try things, and it sounds like most of those have been successful. But tell me about a time where you had to fail fast and you learned real quick that something you were trying wasn't quite working out.
A miss more than a hit. When we reopened last year, it was right at the top of summer. And so a lot of our guests were expecting everything that they had previous summers, the summer games, the full program rollout and stuff like that. And when we reopened last year, they actually weren't going to offer summer games passes at all. And then they decided at the last minute, well, we'll go ahead and we'll just offer them for kids, but not the adults, because, we don't want the discount for the adults and everything. And that ended up being a huge mistake. Not only obviously we didn't sell as many because we have a lot of adults that take advantage of that discount program. But the feedback we got in real time, like right there in the moment, was not positive. The guests, they understand that things were happening. It's a pandemic, but at the same time, it's what they expected. We'd offered it every other year. So literally halfway through the summer, the company was like, just kidding. We're going to offer the summer games for adults. And we had to just, really in that moment, just look at everyone and be like, sorry, that was not a good call. We're going to go ahead and correct that. And we're going to offer the summer games to you now.
Yeah. And there's a couple of business lessons there. And one is to fail fast. And the other one is feedback. Customer feedback is crucial. And the quicker you respond to customer feedback, the better. And it sounds like you guys really did that and kind of probably saved some relationships.
Yeah, and you can't be afraid to just say like, hey, that was a really bad call. Another example that, I'm sorry, just popped into my mind, but originally, when Bolero first became a thing, the company was just like, we don't need league. League revenue is not a thing. We can live without it. And that was a huge mistake. That's not true. We definitely need our league revenue. Those bowlers bring us a lot of revenue, parties and then tournaments, and things like that. And so the whole company, kind of had to turn around and be like, sorry about that, and get leagues back in house and stuff like that. So, and that came from the very tip top saying that was a mistake, so it definitely empowers us on a center level to feel okay, to be like, sorry, that was not okay, my bad, and fix it.
Well, one thing that's never a mistake is giving back to the local community. And I understand you have an event coming up called Pins for Patriots.
We do. Actually, the upcoming weeks for us are very exciting. We're hosting the chamber tournament, and then that weekend we're actually hosting a tournament that is benefiting a local VFW. It's our Pins for Patriots tournament. It's taking place on Saturday and Sunday. You can still sign up. We are going to be taking registration up until the day of the event. And it's really exciting. We're going to be auctioning off a bunch of really cool stuff. There is going to be a signed Altuve baseball that's part of the silent auction. And all of that is going to be going straight to benefit the local VFW. We have a lot of current military veterans, so on and so forth, that bowl in my location every single day. So it's very exciting. This tournament came out of a granddaughter of that bowler just come to me one day and asking if I'd be open to do a benefit tournament. And I was like, you give me the date, the time, and what lanes you need, and let's get it done. So coming up around Memorial Day as well, and so we wanted to tie that in. So it's very exciting.
Well, great. That's fantastic. Yeah, and I like what you said, because it's like you're a big corporation, but you get to treat it like a small business.
Yeah, 100%. And that all comes down from Tom Shannon. A lot of our training videos and things like that, it's literally Tom Shannon talking to you about, we call it salve, but, it's the sounds and the videos. And, he's so passionate about the culture within the building and really owning that. So it's kind of hard not to believe it when literally the guy signing your check is telling you about it. He's so invested in it that he didn't want anyone else to present that idea to you. He wanted to present it to his associates directly.
That's great. Yeah, so no matter how big you get, if you keep that connection with your people, we talk about that a lot on this podcast, about if you have happy and engaged employees, the customers are going to be the ones that benefit. And in the end, the business benefits. It
all really does trickle down. And you know what I mean? It's one of those, it's a cliche for a reason, because it's truth, So I think Bolero Corp, it's a really great example of that.
And so what are you expecting over the summer? Things around here, and I maybe you can get some of the guys, in California and whatever listening, but things here seem fairly normal all of a sudden.
1,000%. Not to humble brag, but we're up like 200% from prior year revenue, and obviously we're going against 2019 because 2020 was so wonky. But yeah, we're going into summer full force. We have our summer games program back up. If I'll just plug our program really quickly, but
absolutely.
For all of the families in the area, we have a summer games pass that is active. Actually, it starts on Thursday where you can redeem them, but you pay up front. It's like $39 for the kids, $54 for the adults, but you can come in every single day of the summer, all the way up until September. You bowl 3 games for free. Your shoe rentals are included. For the kiddos, every single time that they come in, we're going to put $5 on their arcade card. I mean, it's a tremendous value, and you got to think about like high July when it's like 1,000 degrees outside. You've already gone and done all the things. The iPad is dead. If you have that summer game pass, you can just come on in. They bowl. Mom can chill. We have that full bar. I'm just saying. And then they have the arcade. The AC is cranked. So it's definitely something for summer that is a huge draw for everyone in the area. And we expect nothing but good things over the summer.
Maybe some of those high school kids can keep up their practice by taking advantage of
You know,
that.
we do the adult pass, and the people that buy the adult passes are either parents of kids that have the summer games, or there are league bowlers because they see the value. You know, we're an expensive night out, so it literally pays for itself within 2 visits.
Yeah.
You know, 3 games plus shoes for free every single day of the week. This is not once a week. This is 7 days a week. You can come take advantage of the summer game pass.
Tell me about some of your more serious leagues and the experience of seeing those really, really good bowlers.
Listen, it is actually really cool. And people just don't understand that it is a workout. It is a physical sport. You know, we have something called a travel league, and these guys bowl 3 sets of 3 games during their day. So, I mean, it starts at like 9 a.m. and they're still going at like 6 p.m. And you got to think, I mean, that's a full body workout when you're bowling. I mean, we have people bowling 300s. We have people that, you know, have their Professional Bowlers Association card, which means that they've bowled, you know, a certain amount to qualify as a professional. So, you know, we have some really legit bowlers in there, and the company is starting with getting the PBA. They have this new digital way that people can compete digitally in an app. Like basically they sign up and then they take a photo and they submit their scores that they've bowled in the locations, and they can compete with other bowlers nationwide. It was called the Royal Rumble. And the prize was like $50K.
Wow.
And you never even had to travel to another location. It was all done on an app and digital. You know, so, you know, adaptability, you know what I mean, is a big thing. And it's really cool for, you know, that younger generation that are starting to get really serious about bowling, just a way to make it more interactive.
Yeah, and it'd be really cool if we could get a PBA event down here. That'd be really fun.
That literally would be fully legit, because I would also get a visit from the man himself, Tom Shannon.
Nice.
So I've only actually met him like once in line for the buffet at like a conference. Because
Oh,
he was waiting in line with all the regular people, and he just happened to be in front of me. And I'm like, hi, and shook my hand. He was so nice. But he does actually show up to those tournaments. My mentor, GM, she's up at a location in Lone Tree, Colorado now, and she's hosted a tournament. And you know, Tom was there, and she got to sit next to him and all that. So
speaking of partnerships, maybe we should get you guys together with the Bay Area Visitors and Convention Bureau and see if we can't work as a team and get something like that going. That'd be really awesome.
I'm all about the partnerships. You know, especially like Sherry can tell you, you know, we're here for whatever everyone needs in the community. You know, donations. We people come by for silent auction donations. You know, and my little bowling pin thing that I showed you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, what you need, I got you. You know, because in my opinion, you know, it's like that. You know, all news is good news. You know, all publicity is good publicity, and you know, donating to those auctions and stuff like that, that's going to bring people into my location, you know, so I'm here for it.
Well, and we appreciate you buying into Bay Area like that. That's a big push we have. Is in this area, we have everything we need. There's no reason to go outside of this, you know, the friendly confines of Bay Area, Houston. We've got it all, you know, bowling to parks to everything. So it's important to me that people stay local, you know, buy local. Let's keep this community strong that way. So it sounds like you're helping to do that.
Very much is all inclusive. It is an amazing place to live. Been here a year, and you'll never get me out of it. I was just telling Sherry that my husband refuses to leave.
Well,
so.
good. Good. So anything else you want to tell us before we end the podcast?
I mean, I think we covered it all. I appreciate getting to put in the Summer Game Pass program, because that wasn't on my little notes. And so that was really nice. But we're just really, really excited to be a part of everything going on in the area. So I thank you for having me on.
It's been a pleasure, and you know, let's go bowling.
Yeah, I won't be on your team. I don't want to bring your scores down. But yeah, come on in. So we'll host you anytime.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Clear Lake Connections. Please follow us on our social media, and you can find our recordings on all of the platforms. And if you want to learn more or become better at business, I encourage you to join the Clear Lake Area Chamber of Commerce so that you can help grow your business. Visit clearlakearea.com to learn more.